Hi, my name is Sylvie. I am a certified health coach and yoga instructor, and today I share 15 simple but life-changing things I wish I knew before 40. Of course, over the course of our lives, we learn many essential life lessons, and I'm sure you've heard some common ones like what people think of you is none of your business, find beauty in the small things, or set boundaries. But the things I wish I knew before 40 reflect my personality and experience. However, I do think that they will be interesting and helpful for you as well. Anyway, that's my hope. Number one, stretching isn't just something you skip at the end of your workouts. If you know me, you won't be very surprised with this one because I've been providing you with a lot of stretching resources and talking a lot about yoga and stretching. And even though before I became a yoga instructor, I was a certified personal trainer and had been working out consistently for over a decade, I used to skip stretching at the end of my workouts. When I started stretching consistently, it's not an exaggeration to say that it transformed my fitness. And if you want a link to my 1-year yoga transformation, I will leave that in the description below. Plus, in the blog post, you'll find more information about all the points that I'll be sharing with you today. Ultimately, what stretching did is that it gave me enough flexibility to enable me to take my fitness to the next level using yoga. And we'll talk about this more later. Number two, intermittent fasting doesn't mean skipping breakfast. Did you know that intermittent fasting is a way to biohack your body to lose weight and conquer your food cravings? And it's not going to be by skipping breakfast. There's a lot of intermittent fasting methods, and it's important that you select the right one to achieve these goals. The key here is to achieve optimal weight loss ketosis anytime you fast. That's why most likely you'll need to fast for more than the typical 16-hour, but you will not be doing this every single day. So that is why most women practice intermittent fasting all wrong when they get started with the standard advice. And again, you'll find more information about my approach in the blog post. Number three, start yoga now. There you go. I told you we would dive deeper into that one. So for quite a long time, I lifted dumbbells and did high intensity interval training because that's what I thought was the most effective approach for women to stay in shape in the least amount of time possible. But when I discovered yoga, I noticed that my shoulders, my arms, my abs, everything was becoming so much more toned, so much faster. I was seeing results that I had never seen before. My pants started fitting differently, and just my body looked overall so much more toned and defined. That's when I became convinced that yoga may be the ultimate activity for women over 40 who want to get in the best shape of their lives. And I created a new program to help women do just that. However, keep in mind, yoga isn't just about looking hot. There are so many other benefits that you'll experience when you start doing yoga. For example, you'll notice that it improves your mindfulness, it boosts your immune system, it relieves stress, it promotes mental clarity. I mean, the benefits go on and on. An easy way for you to get started is to check out my 5-day yoga habit challenge that I created to help you experience the benefits of yoga in the least amount of time possible. Number 4, use nutrition to boost energy, mood, and overall well-being. I used to struggle with allergies, fatigue, constant headaches, and I tried all the diets under the sun for about a decade to try to heal my body and feel better. I would get extensive meal plans, spend hours in the kitchen, tons of money on groceries and supplements. And I learned quite a lot over that period. And it turns out that I can summarize what I learned about using nutrition to heal your body in a few simple points. Avoid gluten completely, limit dairy strictly, Make fruit and vegetables the bulk of your diet, whether cooked or raw, doesn't matter. Supplement with vitamin D during the winter months. Find a whole food multivitamin. I use a Power Shake, which you may have heard about before in some other of my posts. And fast for 20 to 24 hours, once every 1 or 2 weeks. Number 5, choose your sources of dopamine intentionally. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter associated with feelings of pleasure, motivation, and happiness. It is often called a feel-good chemical in your brain. However, dopamine can become addictive and the brain can become dependent on it. And so that's why it's important to choose your sources of dopamine intentionally so that you can avoid self-destructive behaviors. For example, overeating, over-shopping, wasting time on social media. And sometimes this may require to abstain completely of certain sources of dopamine for a while. And that's something that I became more conscious of during my 40s and I'm still working on. Number 6, ensure your body runs on ketones regularly. We touched a little bit on that when we talked about intermittent fasting, not being about skipping breakfast. But even if you don't practice intermittent fasting, you're not trying to lose weight, it is super helpful for your overall health and well-being to ensure that your body runs out of glucose and starts running on ketones for energy. That will enable you to ensure that you keep your insulin levels stable, that you avoid food cravings, and that you feel your best. Number 7, beware of dogma. You may not know that you're hanging on to dogma because a lot of time we view dogma as something religious maybe, but what I mean by it is to close your mind to new ideas and new ways of doing things and to act as if everything you do is the right way to do things. Maybe it's your parenting style, your eating style, your political views. It doesn't matter, but it is healthy and helpful in your life to be open to look at things differently. It can be comforting to think that you have all the answers, but you know what? Nobody ever does. Number 8, make money doing the things you love. And I don't mean necessarily that it has to be your career, that you have to love your career, but maybe you can find a way to monetize your passions as a side hustle, for example. And that's something I wish I did myself because like I mentioned already, I was passionate about health and wellness for over a decade. And it wasn't until my 40s that I decided to become certified as a health coach, to start a YouTube channel, a blog, and to start helping other women feel their best. Number 9, create habits to become the person that you wish to be. Again, the power of habits is really something that I discovered in my 40s. And most of us, when we give up on goals and New Year resolutions, we think it's because we don't have enough self-discipline. When really, what usually happens is that we fail at creating habits that support what we want to achieve. And when you start viewing your habits as a system that enables you to achieve your goals, implementing the proper behaviors that support your goals become a lot easier. And that is also why my 5-day yoga challenge is about not only practicing yoga, but also creating habits that support your goals. Number 10, honesty isn't always the best policy. So I've always been the kind of person that hates trying to guess what other people are thinking. I would rather if they told me, and so that's what I did myself. I've often told people what I thought, but not really using discernment to figure out whether they wanted to know what I was thinking. I harmed some of my relationships, and that is why it's one of the things that I wish I knew before I was 40. Number 11, stop plucking your eyebrows. Of course, we can't be all serious today, and yeah, I think a lot of us women over 40 wish we didn't overpluck our eyebrows in the 90s and 2000s. Number 12, enter marriage as a partnership, not a social contract. When I got married at age 24, I believed that my husband had specific responsibilities. I had different responsibilities, and these responsibilities were not fluid, like it or not. So I'm not saying that having a relationship in which both parties agree on specific responsibilities and they're happy with that, that's an issue. But what I'm saying is that the responsibilities within the marriage relationship are not defined as a form of social contract. They have to be agreed upon by both parties, more like a partnership. These responsibilities can be fluid, and if one of the two parties wants to modify the responsibilities, it's okay, because it's not a social contract, it's a partnership. And both parties respect each other's desires and needs. Number 13, acquire 2 simple habits to reduce insomnia. As we all know, sleep is essential for your overall health and well-being. Unfortunately, many of us struggle with insomnia at one point or another. What I didn't know before the age of 40 is that there's 2 very simple things you can do that are super effective at combating insomnia. One of them is to take a magnesium supplement before bedtime, and the other one is to adhere to a strict sleep schedule that will require you to wake up most likely earlier than you'd like to. As you wake up earlier, you may notice that you don't sleep as much, but you sleep better. Number 14, harness the power of your inner energy. Maybe this sounds a little bit cuckoo to some of you, but I do believe that everything around us is energy, that our inner energy impacts our reality, it impacts those around us. We can transform our reality by the energy that we display. So you can transform your life by consciously deciding what energy you want to put forth. Number 15, practice mindfulness to be present in the moment. There are many ways to be more present in the moment. For example, pay attention to those around you, observe body language, breathe in the smells, and notice small details in your surroundings. Be aware of your posture and your body. Examine your thoughts, experience your feelings. And another great effective tool is to learn how to meditate. So that's it for the things I wish I knew before 40. My advice for anyone who is going to be turning 40 is to stop fearing turning 40. My experience of getting older has been very, very positive. And the great thing about turning 40 is that it's an age where you're wise enough to really learn to not give a F, and yet you're still young enough to be able to challenge your body and get stronger, more flexible, more agile. You can enjoy the wisdom of aging while still having the health of a younger person. So it's really the best of both worlds. I hope you found this video useful, and thank you for watching.